Seattle has been a wonderful host city all week long to this regional, and we are underway in the final Elite Eight matchup of this year's tournament.
One thing you notice right away is the size advantage that Liz Kitley has inside. And there comes the double team.
And passes right out of it to Trailer, knocks down the three. Kayana Trailer from downtown. Taking a look at our Capital One starting lineups. You see the starting five for Ohio State. Both of these teams rely heavily upon their starters. They work tight rotations, 6 or 7, rarely more than that. Here's Walker scooping it up and in. It has been a really impactful tournament for Ebony Walker. As we take a look at the Virginia Tech starting five as they get ready to work against that press that Drea just diagnosed so beautifully.
And one of the ways that Virginia Tech can beat it is just that. Georgia Amor dribbling through, getting the ball safely into the front court.
You know, we talked about how much these teams rely on their starters. Look at the scoring in the tournament. 92% of the points for Ohio State from their starters, 95 from Virginia Tech, an early three from Kayla King. Kenny Brooks says, when we get 3 or 4 shot Kayla from three, that's usually when we win, not 2 shot Kayla.
That right wing from the three-point line has been friendly to the Hokies so far early in this one.
McMahon thought about it, putting it on the deck, using her size and speed. Cody McMahon.
That's strength on strength because Taylor Soule is an incredibly strong defender, and McMahon's still able to get to the basket.
Amor pedals all the way in for the easy lay. Georgia Amor averaging 24 points per game in the tournament. Good pace early to this game. Here's Mike Zell, lethal from three, and knocks it down.
Much like we saw in the game yesterday with Monica Sanano in Iowa defending middle on-ball screens, you're going to see that a lot from Ohio State, involving Liz Kitley and seeing what she can do defensively.
Kitley faces up and finishes. There's the matchup Holly was talking about. Kitley, Sheldon says, sorry, Rebecca. And Amor and the Hokies did a really nice job breaking that press. First couple of chances against it. Here's King, rainbow arcing and in. 90% of her career field goals have been from three, as Mike Zell says, not so fast. How about the start to this game? Virginia Tech very poised here against the press. They got to get it across, though, and they just do. Good movement, though, and then Sheldon disrupts Kitley only for a moment as Kitley finishes.
Especially when your defense doesn't have a chance to get down and double Liz Kitley, because we mentioned the size advantage.
McMahon is going to get called for the offensive foul.
What a shooting exhibition so far in this one.
Quite pleasing to the eyes to begin this game. Ohio State 4 of 5 from the floor. Virginia Tech 6 for 6. Early foul on McMahon, who does run into foul trouble from time to time. Here's Soule to the reverse, lays it in. Who has made a major impact here at Virginia Tech. Along with transfer Kayana Trailer. As Walker splashes in another. Kitley trying to escape the pressure. Theory had her hands all over Kitley. No call. And Ohio State forces the turnover. 3-on-1, and Sheldon lays it in. I thought it was so interesting talking with Kenny Brooks about the way Georgia Amor is performing throughout this tournament and what stands out to him most and what he's most pleased with. As Amor fires, can't hit from three there. Kitley able to clean it up. He said the thing that he loves most is that everybody else is getting to see it.
I mean, she's certainly a delight to watch play basketball. She was on full display in their Sweet 16 game against Tennessee.
Said, we see it every day. I've seen it forever. He loves that everybody else is now getting to appreciate the game of Georgia Amor. McMahon crosses over and gets the roll. Here's Amor.
Give it to Kitley. Yeah, she's had the advantage inside.
That time knocked out of bounds. Going to stay right here.
And the way Ohio State is double teaming Kitley, her teammates have to let her know where the double is coming from so she can pass it out quickly. Right here, triple team. Tell her where you are.
Wow. How about that triple team and a jump? Possession arrow belongs to Ohio State. Mike Sell connects. Mike Sell has found a home here in Ohio State as King gets fouled on the three. And Kayla King is going to shoot three.
We asked her, where did she get that from? She said it's her dad, Kevin. He used to run marathons. He's run 9 marathons. And when I talked to Dad, like, how did you teach her this insane work ethic? And he said, well, we would get up early in the morning, 5 a.m., and go shoot no matter what before I would go to my 12-hour shift as a doctor in the ER. So Mom has also been an educator for 30-plus years. This is a hard-working family. And Taylor Mikesell said she gets that work ethic and shooting obsession from Dad.
Pretty cool. She said he ran those marathons while he was in med school, which is just amazing when you consider the time that's gobbled up by that. McMahon going to get the bucket plus the foul.
And a great finish. I mean, look at that frame. This is a freshman.
McMahon with 6 points. Talking to Kenny Brooks about going up against McMahon, and he said she is a woman. It was so complimentary about her game, her strength, and as Kevin McGuff says, absolutely has a palpable joy for the game of basketball. Here's Sheldon on the attack, lays it in, and Ohio State has its first lead of the Elite Eight. Here's Amore, bouncing back, finding Greg. Greg will fire. No. Rebound, Taylor Theory for Ohio State. About a 10-second difference, game and shot clock. Entertaining first quarter. Ohio State shooting it at 71%. Mikulashikova over to Sheldon, turning the corner, stops, fades, and hits.
I thought she was going to pay off the story and pass it out to wide open Mikulashikova for a three.
Instead, Sheldon now 3 of 4. It's a 6-0 Ohio State run. Amore cuts between two. What a whip to the corner. 1 second left. Greg gets it off. Can't knock it down. And that's how the first quarter will end.
They did get better in the latter part of the season, in particular in the ACC tournament, where they played 3 teams who really like to press. Miami, Duke, Louisville. And they were able to handle it well and win those games.
And a foul here, I believe, is going to be on Walker.
You got to fix Hollies before the next interview.
Yeah, I'm not sure that one I can do. Ohio State a 3-point lead. Walker, great job fronting Kitley and denying.
Did you see? She's giving up size, but she knows to get low into the body.
Theory flips it in. Amore. Virginia Tech started 7 of 7, 1 of 9 since. Kitley had Amore open, didn't see her behind her. Greg has size on Sheldon and takes advantage.
Really nice.
Incredibly high basketball IQ. Kenny Brooks joking with us about how she calls out drills before he does, just to show off how in tune she is with coach's gameplay. How about that shot of the fronting? That was outstanding.
Oh,
Amore takes a shot to the face and is down. Left the court a moment ago with the aid of the athletic training staff of Virginia Tech. And so now the Hokies, who rely so heavily on Amore, have to try and navigate without her as Seoul gets off to a good start.
And of course you would expect Ohio State without Amore on the floor to pick up in their full court pressure anytime that they score.
Sheldon, little hesitation. J.C. Sheldon lays it in.
And here it is.
So how do they break the press without Amore? Trailer. Trapped and stepped out of bounds. Virginia Tech turns it over. Georgia Amore is back on the bench for Virginia Tech, saying, let me go back in. I'm okay. Saying, I'm good with a big smile. So that is outstanding news for the Hokies. As Ohio State turns it over, and here comes Georgia Amore. All of Hokie Nation exhales. So that did not look good initially when Georgia Amor tried to get up. 29-26, Ohio State in front. Amor will fire off the mark, and Sheldon the weak side rebound. Sheldon bounces back. There's what you're talking about, Rebecca. Mikulashikova did not hit that one, but a clean look. Amor veering, dishing, Kinley finishing.
But Kevin McGuff did tell us that Mikulashikova is a kid. If she hits a couple early, she can really feed off of that and continue to be effective offensively.
Mike Sell hit 3 threes in the first. Hands it off to McMahon. McMahon dumps it in. Mikulashikova. And that's going to be a 3-second violation on Ohio State as they turn it over.
Amor dashing through the defense once again. A beautiful drop pass to Liz Kitley. And yes, when your point guard drops you a dime, you point at them on your other way down the floor to say thank you.
Kitley with 8 points. Nice touch pass here from King. Kitley turning, can't hit. McMahon comes down with a rebound.
That's Kitley's shot, though. She loves the turn over the right shoulder and the fade.
McMahon dishes out. Mikulashikova off on the 3. Great box out from King, and here comes Amor. Amor will pull and hit from 3. Georgia Amor, her cousin loving it in the crowd. Her cousin Keely plays at Portland. That was the only other school in on Georgia Amor as Mike Sell knocks in the 3. And a whistle against Ohio State on Mikulashikova. Here's Traylor trying to work baseline on Sheldon. Terrific defense there from J.C. Sheldon. All big defensive team a season ago. All Big Ten.
All big defensive team.
Yeah, they took out the 10. I don't know why. We'll have to talk to them. All Big Ten first team as well. This year did not play in enough games to garner those awards, but has been playing like that All Big Ten first team player since returning as McMahon. Kitley getting position inside. Amor missed it left. McMahon skies in for another rebound. Here's Mike Sell. This time going to drive it, float it, and hit it. Taylor Mike Sell is 5 for 5 from the floor. Kayana Traylor to the cup, got fouled. She learned from her dad, Kevin, and her mother, Teresa. It wasn't Mother Teresa, but just her mother named Teresa. I saw your face, Rebecca. They didn't like the joke.
They certainly like the way their daughter's been shooting the basketball.
Well, and you know, we saw something Drea pointed out last game as well as Traylor hits both free throws. The attack off the dribble when she was closed out on. That's something she worked on a lot in the offseason after Kevin McGuff had gotten feedback for her from people in the WNBA about if she wants to make the league, what needs to happen. Well, King might have gotten away with a kick there. Virginia Tech comes away with a turnover. (36-33), Ohio State in front. Ohio State shooting at 69.6% from the floor. King knocks in another, her third 3 of the half. And that's the magic number for Kenny Brooks. McMahon, what a spin and finish from the freshman Cody McMahon. Amor cuts through the D. Traylor back to Amor, thought about it. Good close out there from Harris, and a 3-second violation. Mike Sell again. Taylor Mike Sell. Amor sidestepping 3. Oh yeah! McMahon leaning. No. Gregg the rebound. What an entertaining first half. Both teams shooting it incredibly well from the floor. Kitley out to Soul. Soul spins, dips, floats, finishes, plus the foul. Soule and Greg for Virginia Tech. Taylor Theory and Ricky Harris for Ohio State. Sheldon leans in, gets the whistle. Sheldon hits the first. And Sheldon hits both. Sheldon up to 10 points. Ohio State leads by 1. A trip to the Final Four is on the line tonight in Seattle. Soule burrows in and finishes again. Taylor Soule using her physicality effectively in this first half, 9 points. Mike Sell, that time, caught air. Amor sidestepping three. No, barely grazed the rim, and Kinley was fouled.
Man, we have been treated to some incredible basketball out here in Seattle, haven't we?
And to some incredible crowds.
Yes.
Seattle is an unbelievable women's basketball city. Mike Sell leans in, can't finish, but gets the whistle.
Looks
and
right
Taylor Mike Sell is going to shoot too. As Mike Sell hits the first. The way these teams are built, Rebecca, and there are similarities. Shot clock is turned off. Virginia Tech a 46-45 lead on Ohio State. King bounces to Amor, a deep one off the mark, and Soule is fouled. Taylor Soule, already 9 points in the half, going to the line. How about Ohio State? 3 players in double figures. Virginia Tech, 3 players in double figures. Soule got them both. Mikulashikova into Sheldon with time. Sheldon has to get it off, does, and that is how the first half will end. Riveting opening half in Seattle. Only 2 points from either team's bench in that first half. 91 of the 93 points scored came from starters. Told you that has been the trend for both these teams, especially during this tournament. Here's McMahon. Off to Walker, who sat a lot of that second quarter with 2 fouls. Couldn't swivel that one in. Amor, who scored 8 points after returning. A deep one from King. Back iron, no. Theory snares the rebound for Ohio State. Virginia Tech seeking its first appearance in the Final Four. Ohio State its second, and its first in 30 years. McMahon bodies it up and off, but a foul. Let's check in with Holly Rowe.
You guys are raving about her maturity as a freshman, and it's worth noting she came in last year in December. She said, I was meeting with my family. We were maybe going to transfer high schools when my athletic director said, well, you know, you're pretty close to graduating. You could just leave early and get those credits. So she did that. She came into Ohio State last year in December, didn't play, but she got used to campus, got used to classes, got comfortable with the team and the system. And that comfort level has allowed her to shine this year. You talk about maturity. She got in early, even though she gave up that senior year.
Such a wonderful point, Holly. And she also emphasized how it allowed her to see how Kevin McGuff wanted his team to play. Had that in mind as she took the floor then this season. Soule out to Traylor. Oh, nice little dance move from Traylor. Kinley lays it in just before the shot clock fades. Sheldon curling, cupping, and finishing. Here's Amor. Soule off to Amor. She will fire and hit on the deep 2. Sheldon cups it and a travel.
I'm just still fascinated with the difference in Ohio State between the Sweet 16 matchup and the X and O difference.
Yeah.
Where they pressed almost the entire game against Connecticut and completely wreaked havoc. In this game, 4 times in the first quarter they pressed, twice in the second quarter. We haven't seen it at all here in the third because of how easily Virginia Tech handled it.
Kitley able to find the angle, bank it in, plus the foul. And her parents applauding. Kitley's had a really big game here. 14 points, 6 of 10 from the floor, knocks in the free throw. Any thoughts about when you would go back into it if you're Ohio State?
I would think maybe to start the fourth quarter, you try it a couple of possessions. I mean, but right now, as tight as the game is, you can't afford, certainly, to give up easy layups.
McMahon storms in and finishes. Here's Soule. Soule turns the corner, couldn't finish it. Theory there defensively. Sheldon pushing pace. Sheldon shovels it out. Mikulashikova can't hit the three. She's had some good looks, unable to finish. And Taylor Theory able to draw the whistle on the loose ball. It'll stay with Ohio State. Sheldon backs it out to McMahon. Shot clock is down to 6. McMahon dishes. Theory got the step and lays it in. Amor bounces into Kitley. Double comes, swinging around. King fakes it, nearly threw it away, got it back. Kitley fumbles, still time here for Virginia Tech. Amor blasts inside and lays it in. Wants the screen here. Mike Sell does get a look, can't hit, was on target, just a little long. Amor flips it inside. Soule gets fouled by Sheldon.
Well, you all see Georgia Amor going over and talking to head coach Kenny Brooks, and that's something that he told us was a huge development in her as a leader. He said she used to come over and I would have to tell her every single thing I was seeing. Now she comes over to me and tells me what she's seeing on the floor and she thinks would be effective. Huge growth, not only in her skill set, but also in her leadership.
Calls her his mini-me.
That's right. And talked about how he really threw her into the fire and coached her hard early on. Taylor Soule told us the other day, I love defense. That's what really makes my blood boil. Said, I know many basketball players don't feel that way.
Does it make her blood boil or flow?
Well, she said boil, but I think flow. McMahon can't finish. And a foul on Harris, reaching in. Congratulations to South Carolina, headed to another Final Four. Winner of this game will face LSU, 7 Eastern on ESPN Friday. And then at 9, it will be undefeated reigning champion South Carolina against Iowa, as Greg hits both. You see the shooting struggles from Ohio State in this third after they were sizzling in the first half. Walker gets a good look and knocks it down. Shot clock turned off. Amor backs it out, looking for space. Amor finds it and hits! Georgia Amor, a scintillating finish to the third. Amor drew 2.
Ohio State now trapping in the quarter court.
Virginia Tech trying to head to its first Final Four. Ohio State its second. Amor off on the 3. Weak side rebound McMahon. Here's Sheldon. Ohio State trailing by 8. The senior out to McMahon. McMahon spinning. Can't finish it, but gets the whistle. McMahon. Holly Rose, we watch that gorgeous spin move.
Well, I was talking to her teammate, Ricky Harris, who wants to go into coaching, and she said she's come so far in those moves in the paint. When she was younger, she'd come in and she was like a bull in a china shop, and she'd get in foul trouble. She was too strong, too fast. Now she's got the patience and the body control. That's been a work in progress.
Yeah, you can certainly see a player like that just running over defenders.
Oh, great break of the press, and it ends up with a Kitley layup on a beautiful feed from King.
And it starts with Amor's ability to handle the pressure off of the dribble.
Sheldon loses it. Here is Amor. Eyes up. Virginia Tech 65, Ohio State 57. Kitley, 2 more. Elizabeth Kitley with 19. Ralph's been standing a lot applauding. Timeout, Ohio State. Take a look at Virginia Tech's success this season. So many records set. First Elite 8, first 1 seed, first tournament championship. And Sheldon gets free for the layup. Shot clock all the way down to 3. King might have to hoist. King does. Got it on the rim, nothing more. Here comes Sheldon. Sheldon veers, dances, can't hit, but gets the whistle as we send things over to Holly Rowe.
Well, when we wrapped up our meetings with Ohio State, we said, what's the one story we should tell on national championship TV about your team? And they said, you've got to talk about Emmy. She makes it so we never have a bad day. Her relentless positivity, her hugs before the game make us all go, we have to get them. She is the piece that has made this team special this year, and they wanted to make sure that we told America.
It's a beautiful story, and Ohio State has had an incredible run trying to keep it going into Dallas. 7-point game. Amor surveying, attacking, finds Kitley, lays it in, plus the foul.
Good job, big girl. She goes right over to Amor and says, good pass. Encourage them to keep making it. And yeah, beautiful look. Nice finish with contact from Liz Kitley right here. She looks at her. Good pass.
21, make it 22 for Liz Kitley. Virginia Tech, the 10-point lead.
Again, I think there's some cumulative fatigue for both of these teams from the last game.
Mike Zell can't get it to drop, and a foul against Ohio State. Amor has to get it in, finds Kitley. Kitley up to Traylor. Kayana Traylor able to break the press.
Kitley looked over at Greg, and Greg was the one who pointed at Traylor, so Kitley knew where to pass the basketball. That's being a good teammate.
Amor backs it out. 4:40 to go. Amor will fire and hit from three. Georgia Amor makes it a 13-point game.
Aussie.
McMahon gets it to Mike Zell from the corner. She got it. Huge three there for Taylor Mikesell. Amor running clock. Sees the trap. Gets it to the corner. Traylor putting it on the deck. Slides around and lays it in. McMahon off to Sheldon. Puts it on the deck and gets the roll. 10-point game.
Look at Ricky Harris battling and displacing Liz Kitley on the block.
Amor will fire. No. Soul battling. Keeps it alive for Virginia Tech. And then a whistle against Harris is going to put Kitley at the line, and Ricky Harris is fouled out. And it has been a frustrating game for Ricky Harris. And Kevin McDuff is saying, get to the bench. We don't need a tee. Kitley. Now 4 for 5 from the line. Virginia Tech is 15 of 17. Kitley hits the second. 23 points for Liz Kitley. 11-point Virginia Tech lead. Kitley setting a record tonight. Most double-doubles in program history. So Kayla King is fouled out for Virginia Tech. As she goes to the bench, and Theory hits the first free throw. 1:47 to go in this fourth quarter. Theory hits them both. Amor veers through defenders, gets it across, and then is fouled by Sheldon. Georgia Amor will now shoot free throws. Where she saw the jersey of Australian royalty, Lauren Jackson, hanging in the rafters, where she knows Ezzy Magbagor, another Australian star, plays. Said she was going to sit in Ezzy's locker, send a picture and tell her, hey, this is going to bring me luck. So far, been pretty good for Virginia Tech and Georgia Amor. Another 20-point night. Sheldon can't finish, got fouled, and will shoot two.
ACC tournament stretching now through the NCAA tournament on the season, averaged 16 points, but has certainly upped that here in the postseason.
And she also has completely negated what was Ohio State's biggest weapon in the Sweet 16, their press.
Yes. She's a press negator.
That's right. On her social media profiles. Traylor gets it across. Squeezes it to Greg. Virginia Tech going to run more clock.
They've been tremendously disciplined the last couple minutes of this game, understanding time and score.
Crowd starting to sense it. Amor off one leg. No. Long rebound. McMahon pushing for Ohio State. McMahon gets fouled. And you can see not only Ohio State but Virginia Tech fans also applauding the effort here from McMahon, who hits the first.
Looks like that's what Kevin McGuff is doing.
McMahon hits both. She'll stay in. It's a 7-point game. Still work to be done for Virginia Tech. And a foul called on Sheldon. Amor hits the first. Amor hits both. McMahon out of the game now for Ohio State. Mike Sale gets a great look and knocks it down from three. Beautiful play from Kevin McGuff. It's a 6-point game. And now Kenny Brooks will take a timeout. Virginia Tech, of course, could throw this in the front or back court. It's Amor racing away from contact. Amor running clock, and Mike Sale finally is called for the foul.
You ever play dribble tag?
Amor and Kitley, huge nights for the Hokies. And the starters have done essentially all of the scoring for both teams. Very tight rotations.
No timeouts for Ohio State. They've got to push the ball up quickly.
Amor hits 2 more critical free throws. That's a story for Virginia Tech. They're 22 of 24 from the line. Sheldon in for 2. No, says Kitley. Off of Sheldon. And it is almost in the bag for Virginia Tech. Greg will inbound. Virginia Tech 1 timeout remaining. Greg bounces into Kitley, who's immediately fouled, and free throws coming for Liz Kitley.
Both teams are very solid on the defensive end of the floor. Alexis Morris, Georgia Amor. If we get that matchup, it'll be fun. Assuming we get that matchup.
Kitley misses the second. Virginia Tech 23 for 26 from the line tonight. Mike Sell lets it fly. No. Rebound Kitley. And Ohio State will foul one more time as Kitley. A 25-point night in the Elite Eight for Elizabeth Kitley. Clock running. Mikulashikova gives it up. Sheldon can't hit the 3. Rebound Amor. Ohio State backs away. And for the first time in program history, Virginia Tech is headed to the Final Four.
Better than David Yerlin.